All right. I think I'm just going to say it now, right? It's probably time to fire your marketing agency, right? Because what if your remodeling company could run high level marketing execution in-house without waiting for expensive agencies that charge an arm and a leg, but then they still don't actually, deliver what they promise. All right. What's this? So can we launch a marketing initiative where our clients apply to qualify for 0% financing for like 15 months of any renovation? So what we want to do is we want to create that for our company. We are the only company in Ottawa to do this for renovations. So what they get is $0 down. They apply to see if they qualify. So what they can get is their dream kitchen for $300 a month, an addition for $500 a month, bathrooms for $99 a month. So what we're doing is we're able to offer financing for our clients, and then this should actually get us or give us a unique selling proposition for this. All right. So I'm just going to run that, and then we'll be back in a second to see what that does at the end. Okay, so that's done. So now we have three landing pages here, right? So I'm just going to click on the first one. So what we have here is we have a landing page with the headline, Ottawa's only 0% financing on renovations for 15 months, right? Start a 2-minute quiz. We have a quiz form there. It says how it works, monthly payment examples, why Ottawa homeowners chose OGC, and like that's all in a matter of minutes, right? Check out the quiz here where you can actually select, okay, what are you planning? Bathroom, they go next. When are you looking to start? 1 to 3 months. Okay. And then how soon would you like a call back? Within 24 hours. And then they can put in their details, right? What they also have is a booking page where they can actually, book a consultation call, right? So they can go in here, select the date, put in their details, and then the thank you page is here. So you're booked. We'll see you soon. Previously, that was so unrealistic, but now it doesn't because with OpenClaw, you can now deploy AI agents that know your company, that can create campaign strategy, and then do autonomous execution work. Right? Today, I'm going to show you exactly how that works through one core system, which I call the AI head of marketing. Right? Okay, so um, again, most remodelers, they don't just have a lead problem. I think the problem right now is execution, being able to execute marketing tasks. Also, because again, it's not their forte. It's not something that you would say is something that you would be good at. But right now, now that we have intelligence of PhD level intelligence in all these models, we can actually have that execution as well too, right? So the process previously, I mean, what you would normally do is probably pay, an agency retainer, they set up campaigns for you. But the results actually come in maybe sometimes, but then it's really unclear. Either the leads come in, they don't pick up the phone, the leads come in, they are junk, and then you go look for another agency, and then the cycle goes on and on and on, right? And meanwhile, you're kind of losing speed, you're losing control over the amount of jobs that you're getting. Or you can't actually decide how much work that you do because the leads are inconsistent. So, but then the shift that we have right now is you can combine AI capability with your business context and then run your own lead gen in house, right? Internally. Like it's really amazing. So that's a totally different business model. So how this works, right? So think of this as your own orchestration layer, right? So you tell your head of marketing, that's your AI agent, what do you want it to create? What kind of campaign do you want to create? Or what offer you want to push? Just like I did in the video earlier. Like it's crazy, right? And then it produces and then what it does is produces a structured marketing brief, not just random ideas, right? A real brief that you can execute. Right? I'm going to show you one brief that we created right now. So basically, that the skill I ran at the beginning of this video created a brief in the middle of that, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like. All right, so this was the brief, right? So it was basically 0% financing for 15 months, right? So the company is launching the first kind of its offer. We have the campaign overview there, and then it's saying it's designed to do two things, right? Drive a high volume of leads and filter for qualified homeowners. And then it gives you things about like the core offer, the messaging. So there's going to be a down payment, 0% down, availability in Ottawa, and then you have to apply to see if you qualify. And then the minimum project size is going to be $25,000. And we have the different monthly payment examples, which I actually, said in the fuzzy brief. You basically just talk to it. You talk to it, and then you have a fuzzy brief, and then it comes up with a campaign funnel. Like, blows my mind sometimes, right? If you think about it. Then you can have the lead strategy and qualification funnel, landing page brief with everything in the landing page, payment examples, the application form, and then I don't want to get ahead of myself, right? But now we just created the funnel. So imagine it actually going out and creating advertisements for Meta, ads on YouTube, um, email follow-ups. So you have like a full, complete campaign that this can actually create. It's going to be amazing. I'm actually going to be building this over time. So watch out for the next videos and then see how we create a full marketing campaign just from talking to your AI agent. So basically, this is going to be your in-house agency, your in-house employee that you're not paying tens of thousands of dollars a month to run your marketing for you, and then you still don't get results. Anyways, let me get back to the presentation. So as I said, so your head of marketing does all the work, but what it needs access to your business. This is what we call the business brain. If you look in the video that I posted before this, I'm going to link to it here. The business brain is actually where we store things like the offers, the positioning, the voice rules, how to actually speak in the emails, in the funnels, on the landing pages, CRM insights, customer pain points, your customer intelligence, reviews from Google. So all this we have in an AI orchestration layer, because data, lives in different places in the business. But if we have everything together in one business brain, then now the agent isn't guessing, right? It's operating from your real context, right? If you have no context, you're going to just get weak output, right? So for example, like anybody can write a prompt, right? You can just basically say, okay, you know what, write me generic prompt, write me some ad copy, give me a funnel, but then the AI will guess what context it is, and then you get generic output. That's what you call AI slop. That's the slop that you just see everywhere. So it's like off-brand, it doesn't convert, right? But when you have a performance-backed workflow that has, business brain context, real ad spend data, because on the skills on the back end of this, I don't want to go too technical. We actually know we've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars running ads for our clients, right? So we know what kind of campaigns work, what kind of funnels work, and then the proven copy patterns, right? So we push this into the back end of that as well. So it knows what works compared with business brain context. And then now we have like a powerful brief that is on brand, conversion tested because it has been tested with so much ad spend, and then we just execute on it, right? So that's the difference behind having a lame ChatGPT give me a funnel than actually implementing it this way, right? Okay, so once the brief is created, right? So what the head of marketing agent does, it kind of spins up sub agents, right? So the sub agents are here. So we have the content agent that kind of handles the conversion messaging, what needs to be said, how it needs to be framed, what objections we need to handle. And then remember I said we have all this data from us running hundreds of thousands of dollars for our clients, right? So we know what messaging works. So we put that into the content agent so it has its own prompt and it knows what messaging works for remodeling companies, right? Then the next step is to have the layout agent. Again, the layout agent handles page structure. It knows what has performed historically, because quizzes seem to perform. Well, not seem to. We know that quizzes perform. So that's why we had a quiz on that page. So we're not designing from scratch every time. Then the design agent kind of handles, like polish, how it looks, the trust signals, and then also has the client's brand Bible, we call it, the brand Bible. So every landing page looks and feels on brand, right? So what we don't, so now we don't get like overloaded like general stuff, but we're getting like coordinated execution, right? So anybody can write a prompt, as I said, but the prompts have to work. The prompts have to work for your business, and it has to be based on data that has worked in the past as well too. So that's how we are able to come up with conversion focused landing pages that you see like this in a matter of minutes, right? Because we have the AI agent that can actually go in and actually create the sites for you. I hope you can see the power behind this, right? This is bigger than one funnel. Now you have a repeatable in-house marketing operating system, right? I mean, this means now you can launch campaigns faster, right? You have better consistency in your marketing. You're not as dependent on agencies as you were before. And then this kind of improves the economics over time because you can now in-house generate your own leads. So you're not just buying deliverables, you're building a capability in your business, right? So if you want to implement this, what I've done right now is in the description below, I've put together a downloadable skill file, right? So that can help you set up two things. It's going to help you set up the business brain, right? And then it's going to give you the head of marketing workflow, right? So basically how the head of marketing is going to actually help you to create the funnels from fuzzy information. This is you speaking to the head of marketing, telling them what you wanted to do, and then to create your marketing brief. What you won't be able to do, or what you won't be able to do with that information, is probably go deploy your site, because there's a lot of technical information that goes on the back end of that. But then we handle that for our clients, where we kind of deploy this into their business and then they can run it themselves. All right, so go download the skills right now. So what I'm going to do in the next videos, stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, so that you can get notified, is I'm going to expand this to not just funnels, right? So imagine it creating campaigns, ads, email follow-ups, SMS follow-ups. So you have like your full marketing agent working for your business. All right. So looking forward to seeing you in that video. Talk to you soon.